Hi everyone, Leanne here from Jaded Blossom, and I have two fun gnome cards to share with you today. Hey everybody, so I'm using Jaded Blossom's Gnoel Gnomi, the stamp set and the outline dies, and I pre-colored these with Copic markers. They'll be listed on my blog. And I stamped out the sentiments and cut them out with the outline dies as well. You'll see that I did use a secure white Jelly Roll pen to add some highlights to them. And I'm pulling out Jaded Blossom's Snowflake stencil. And I'm also using Tailored Expressions masking stencils. So I've got a piece of paper tray ink white cardstock, and that is 4.25 by 4.25 inches. And I'm using the masking stencil from Tailored Expressions. That's the largest square. And I'm pulling out Distress Oxide ink in peacock feathers using a Tailored Expressions blending brush and Mowed Lawn. And I'm just going to blend it on this background, just sort of here and there. And I'm going to add the green kind of running across the center. Now it looks a little bit, streaky and stuff now, but it does settle in and blend out quite well. Now I'm going to be adding on the Snowflake stencil from Jaded Blossom right over top, which is kind of fun to do this, right? It kind of gives a spotlight effect and an area for you to add your, your die cuts or your images. So I'm just making the areas darker. So going over the stencil with a heavier hand at this point. And I'm working, like I said, on my Wendy Vecchi Make Art Station. All my die cutting today was done with my Gemini machine as per usual. And there you have it. So isn't that awesome? And I will peel off the masking stencil. I'm going to do the exact same thing, but with the largest circle masking stencil that the Tailored Expressions has. I'm pulling out Salvage Patina Distress Oxide ink and a blending brush, and I'm just going to blend around the outside in the Salvage Patina, and then I'm going to pull out Kitsch Flamingo and add that to the center. I'm just choosing Distress Oxide inks to kind of match what's going on with that gnome that I pre-colored. I always, when I color images, I tend to choose a pattern paper that I like the color combination of, and then I choose my markers appropriately, like to go, along with that. So I kind of get a cue from some pattern paper, and that's how I chose my colors. They will all be listed on my blog today. So there we go, doing some blending. And then I will pull off the stencil, and then I will pull off the masking. Isn't that fun? And there you go. And now I'm going to create two square cards. So I'm using the 4-inch stitch square die from Jaded Blossom, and I'm just going to line up my stencil in the center. And I will tape it in place and run it through my Gemini machine. I just want to make sure everything's nice and even. There you have it. And I'm using actual tape because I really don't want it to move after I spent time doing some ink blending. And now I'm going to pull off the leftover and then pull out my little card front. And there you have it. So pretty, right? I'm going to do the exact same thing, but to the circle one. So I'm trying to make sure my ink blended circle is in the center of this card. And then I will stick it down with Scotch tape again and run it through my Gemini machine. And like I said, this is paper tray ink white cardstock. I did use Vers Fun Clair Nocturne ink for the sentiments, but for the images, they were stamped in Ink on 3's blackout ink. Now that's a Teflon bone folder, and I'm just running it along the stitching because, sometimes the stitching of the die will stick in the paper and kind of rough it up, so I just ran it across. So now I have paper from Paper Tray Ink. That is Lovely Lady, and then Hawaiian Shores. That's 4.25 by 8.5, scored at 4.25 inches to give you an A2 sized square card. So it'll fit in an A2 sized envelope. There you go. And then on the inside, I'm going to add a 4-inch square piece of cheapo paper. I believe it's Nina Solar White, like maybe 65 pound or something like that. I'll be adding that with my ATG tape to the inside. So just easy stuff. There you have it. And then I will pop that on the inside. So that's kind of easy, right? And now I'm going to add my ink blended backgrounds. There you go. And I love this Gnoel stamp set and outline dies. I just think it is so darn cute. And you could use it for the winter or even Valentine's Day, right? So I decided to make 2 winter themed cards. We are in the middle of winter here in Canada where I'm from. So, you know, totally appropriate. Winter birthdays would be fun. These could even be for Christmas next year. Whatever. Any kind of winter kind of card would be great. But these little gnomes with the hearts on their hats could easily be used for Valentine's Day. So there are my 2 images. I'm going to pop them up with some Stampin' Up! Dimensionals. And you'll see that I chose the colors of my backgrounds based on the colors that I colored my gnome. So you'll see the teal and the pink that I used on the one on the right, and yellow, right? And then the one on the left has the green and the teal. And the pink, of course, but there we go. And I'm just sort of, you know, making sure that it's covered. I peeled off all the backings, and then there you go. I'm going to pop him down. Isn't he adorable? So cute. I always use a secure white jelly roll pen and a number 10 to add my highlights. I will pop up the sentiment as well. So that one says, warm winter wishes. There we go. So this could be for, you know, a birthday, right? And then the other one says Gnoel, so I would kind of use that more for a Christmas card, right? So that can go in my Christmas stash for next year. And I will pop that up, like I said, with my Stampin' Up! Dimensionals. I do use the edges and everything, so you'll see that I do trim them down. Now, in the upper right-hand corner in that little triangle tray from Simon Says Stamp, I have Studio Katia sparkling crystal confetti, something like that. And I'll be using those. But like I said, everything will be listed on my blog, so you can easily go to my blog and look up exactly what I used. In case I misspeak, right? That happens. It happens all the time. Okay, so there I'm going to be using, these are those Studio Katia crystal, I don't know if they're called sparkling crystal. Anyways, they're crystal confetti. And I'm using the Studio Katia embellishment wand to pick them up, and I'm sticking them down onto the card base with glossy accents. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm just going to be adding an odd number, you know, straddling the sentiment. And I kind of like to use different sizes, right? The nice thing about these crystal kind of iridescent confetti is they kind of pick up whatever colors are going on around them, right? So they kind of have a pinky tinge, but, you know, depending on what you put them on, they kind of take on the colors of what's going on around them. So lots of fun to use. So thank you so much for stopping by. Be sure to hop on over to the Jaded Blossom blog, Be Inspired, the Jaded Blossom store, to maybe get your hands on these products. And thank you as always for watching my videos. I appreciate it. And hopefully we will see you soon in my next one. Bye, everyone.